Why and how did I fall in love with God? Because I was so happy. I was so full of joy. I wanted God to exist. And I thought, my goodness, I've never wanted that before. What's happened to you, Marshall? And I was flying. It was springtime. Lovely university campus, lakes and green trees and gardens kept up by the university. And I was flying and I didn't come down for about 10 days. I was so joyful. I knew joy. It was lovely to have found God almost without knowing it. And yet his presence was profoundly affecting me. And I knew I was being affected. And I wanted to thank him for it. I thought, my goodness, what's happened to you, Marshall? You never wanted God to exist before. How amazing. I didn't feel myself to be in the grip of some crisis or terrible situation, so I turned in my desperation to God. I didn't feel overcome by sin and wretchedness that, in my wretched uncleanness I had to turn to God for the perfect sacrifice. I didn't know anyone that was religious. I was reading a book that was all about religion, Indian yogi Paramahansa Yogananda, his autobiography and the astonishing, miraculous people that he knew in his life, not to mention himself. I'd been given the book by someone I didn't really know on the course that I was doing. I was abandoning a course for a master's in economics because I was running out of cash fast. I was in debt. I mean, not massively, but I didn't want to get further in debt. I knew it wasn't feasible to keep going that way. So I'd applied for a job locally as a trainee social worker. I wanted to do some hands-on caring for people. I was a humanist, you see. Humanist is someone who puts human beings first, wants to love and care for humanity. Well, I don't know if humanism is rather more sophisticated than that, but that was my grasp of the philosophy of such anyway. So I thought I'd do a modest job, not be a world banker as an economist. I'd be just a social worker, just to help people. Loved people, you see. Loved in the sense of so wanted to bless people. In this world, of course. Well, not sure how I formulated it in my mind. I wanted to be people to be happy rather than wretched and unhappy. Wanted to rescue people. A young man, the knight in shining armour. I'd been in love. I mean, at that precise time I was still way in love with someone who'd loved someone else, and I thought, well, if you love her, Marshall, she should be with someone else, the one that's going to make her most happy. Do you love her or not? Oh, certainly. Right. Well, you let her go then, don't you? Yes, I let her go in my mind. Stop pursuing this maiden. Because I'm the knight in shining armour. I do the honourable thing, you see. I've been brought up to be honourable. Not sure as I was very honourable, but we do what we can do from the perspective we're in, don't we? And we're, from God's point of view, we're children. Not only that, we're his children, and he loves us accordingly. And he rescues us. Even when we don't want to know him, he rescues us. Because he loves us. Because he's our dad. Perfect dads are like that. Thank you, Dad. I've got tears streaming down my face at the minute. I have to tell you, you need to experience moments like this one that I'm in at this moment. Well, I'm just coming out of it, otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you, but you're overcome by love for God. You know it. And I mean by that a consciousness and awareness of just how good he is to you and how much it's as if appreciation just floods over you and your tears stream from your eyes. And they do. And you couldn't take it for long. It just lasts for a few moments, you know. Perhaps the best part of a minute, I don't know. It's a strange joy. It's the absolute transcendent zenith of what you could take. It's a loving of God that sweeps through you. And you're just aware for a moment how much you love him. Something I said touched me when I reheard it as to what it means to me. I would that everyone could experience this. It's something like an inner certainty of realizing you love him, and that's utterly what matters to you. It overwhelms your emotion. It's like a fantastic, awesome summer's day or vision of the universe in its entirety or in its incredible depth of a trillion stars and galaxies, unending. It's an awestruck moment of love and blessing. That you can't hold on to, but it probably gives you some indication of the fullness of life eternal. It's to say to us something of where we're going. And you need to know that it is more than overwhelmingly important. This utter meaning of life that that's beyond your comprehension. Our life here and all its busyness. When you feel for a moment, just that moment, the love of God for you, and just that something of his goodness, you are utterly overcome. Bless you. May you experience the same. May you know in your heart, come to realize and see what you truly love at heart. You'll know your God. You'll love him to bits, and you'll know he loves you to bits. And I say it all very calmly and sweetly now. But you'll be completely and utterly swept off your feet when it happens. And I'm so glad for you that it will happen. Because he's your God and he loves you. It's all very, very personal. Bless you. The Lord bless you, and he does. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Dad.